Hi, I'm Richard Chambers, the President and CEO of the Institute of Internal Auditors. Effective January 1st of 2013, the IIA's international standards for the professional practice of internal audit were revised. There were 18 revisions to this year's updated standards, and I want to talk to you a little bit about them today. In fact, I'd like to focus on 5 changes that I see as the most important. First and foremost, there's a new paragraph added to the introduction section clarifying the responsibilities of internal auditors, the CAE, that is the Chief Audit Executive, and the internal audit activity for conforming with the standards themselves. The standards apply to the individual internal auditors and to the internal audit activities. The internal auditors are accountable for conformance related to objectivity, proficiency, and due professional care. And the internal auditors themselves are accountable for conforming with the standards relevant to their own performance of audit engagements as they carry out their work. The chief audit executives are accountable for overall conformance with the standards. This has been a question that a number of people have posed over time as to who has responsibility for conformance with these standards. And I think that it's very important that the new standards have clarified that, and it should help all internal auditors have a better understanding of what their responsibilities are. The second change that I want to mention today is the change to Standard 1312 on quality conformance. There is increased focus on requirements for a quality assurance improvement program and clarification on how conformance is achieved. This added that external assessments can be in the form of a full external assessment. Of course, these external assessments have to be done every 5 years, or it can be done with a self-assessment with independent external validation. This is a practice that a number of audit departments have engaged in over the years, and I'm very pleased to see that the standards themselves now recognize that a quality assurance with external validation is an appropriate solution. The third change I want to talk about is an interpretation added to Standard 2600, clarifying the Chief Audit Executive's role to communicate unacceptable risk. This clarification says that an indication of risk accepted by management may be observed through an assurance or consulting engagement, through monitoring progress on actions taken by management as a result of any prior engagements, or by other means. It is not the responsibility of the Chief Audit Executive to resolve the risk. Again, this is a long-standing practice in internal audit that we provide the assurance, we provide our own perspectives, but management ultimately has to be the ones to implement corrective actions because it's their responsibility. The fourth change that I want to highlight today is the change to Standard 2010. This is the standard that now explicitly requires timely adjustments to the internal audit plan. The CAE must review and adjust the plan as necessary in response to changes in an organization's business, risk, operations, programs, systems, and controls. This is very much in alignment with how a lot of internal audit departments have begun to recognize response to the dynamic environments that we operate in. As risks continue to evolve very dynamically, very rapidly, it's very critical that audit plans be adjusted on a continuous basis, and this standard now recognizes that. Lastly, one of the 18 changes that I also find important to mention today is the changes to Standards 2120 and 2130. These standards now require increased coverage of risk to the achievement of strategic objectives. This whole concept of strategic risks and what internal audit's role is in the addressing of strategic risk has been discussed extensively in recent years, and I'm very pleased to see the standards themselves now recognize how critical strategic risks are to the overall success of any organization. Conformance with our standards is essential. It's a requirement for the professional practice of internal audit. To find out more, the full set of changes, visit the IIA's website at www.globaliia.org. Again, I'm Richard Chambers, the President and CEO of the Institute of Internal Auditors.